giving over the one resource that I really don't know how much of it I have, but it's the one resource that everybody's asked seems to be asking for in exchange for the ability to just live and eat and have a roof over my head, and that's time. You don't know how much time you have.
No.
Um, I feel frustrated in a way because I feel like I have so many ideas of things that I wanna do, places I wanna go. To be 100 with you, my mom's health scare last year, back in October, November, and then her recovery period now is really just it has lit a fire under my ass. The fact that I'm in a job that I know does not appreciate me, does not appreciate the work I do, does not appreciate me as a person. There's no real trajectory, leadership trajectory for my position. I don't see a place for of expansion there for me. Knowing all of that, knowing that seeing my mother, who's 65 years old, she just retired, has been working the safe jobs her whole life, is a very talented writer, talented creatively, but also, like, she has a mind for science as well, and so seeing how talented she was and seeing her choose the safer path working for all of these years. She finally retired. I brought her down here to stay with me, to live with me, and we were going to start our adventure, right? Our little travel adventure. And then not even 48 hours after she got here did she have her first fainting spell. Actually, it wasn't her first. I found out later on, but it was the first one that I was privy to, that I saw with my own eyes. We take her to the doctor, and for the next month, she's going to doctors back and forth. And they finally determine that she has a tumor in her brain. I'm looking at this, and thankfully, she is doing all right. She's on the road to recovery. She has had brain surgery. She is, she's recovering. But I look at that and all these years of working to the bone just to retire and immediately have a major medical emergency. So major that we had to take her home back to the States to have her surgery because that was where her Medicare could cover her. She wasn't here long enough to get insurance. She had just gotten residency a month prior, went back home to clean out her apartment, get herself together. She's actually been experiencing symptoms for quite some time, but her doctors in the States were attributing those things to her just getting older. She would bring those issues to her doctor, and the doctor would say, "Oh, you're getting older. You're just getting older." And of course, she comes down here, doesn't have to go through 5011 hoops to get an MRI, doesn't have to go through 5011, what are they called? Not resident. Why am I saying residencies? No. What is the word? Referrals. Perimenopause brain, y'all. Perimenopause brain is real. The words that you would normally speak. This is another reason why this has been so frustrating for me because the words that I normally can just say easily, I can't. It's like they're on the tip of my brain, but the synapses are not synapsing and I can't get the words out. She didn't have to go through a bunch of referrals. She was just able to go. And they found that tumor in less than a few visits. She had a couple of MRIs and they found it. And the shit was massive. Literally the only reason we sent her back home to have well, it was a couple of reasons, but one of the main reasons is because my brother has a few friends in the medical field, and because of that, they were able to get her in the week we got home. They got her in to the hospital and scheduled, um, her surgery within 2 days of seeing the neurologist, and it also helped that we had all of this imaging from the doctors here as well. And so I think about all of that and I'm just like, I can sit here and go the safer route and lose so much time and energy, you know? Or I can take a chance on myself, start my own business, right? And do the work because like the idea of working all this time and giving over the one resource that I really don't know how much of it I have, but it's the one resource that everybody's asked seems to be asking for in exchange for the ability to just live and eat and have a roof over my head. And that's time. You don't know how much time you have. None of us do, right? And the pressure, the the frustration, and I use the word frustration deliberately because, it describes where I am right now, but also it it's one of the words that they use in human design. So if you are what do they call it? A generator or manifesting generator, a way to gauge where you are is that feeling of frustration. Frustration is one of those emotions that remains persistent if you are not going in the quote unquote right direction for you. And I'd say that frustration is one feeling that I'm also feeling, but fear is another one because I don't want to, like, I'm in my early 40s and I am terrified that I'm going to work so hard just to get to the end of this and not be able to fully enjoy it because of some catastrophic health issue or something. And I know a part of that is this feeling of like, I don't have any, I have no control in the end. I have no control over what could potentially happen to me. And that feeling of it is taking everything in me not to quit my job completely. it's, it is taking everything in me not to just quit and go live the life that I actually want to live. It is taking everything to not completely blow my life up. But I will say, with everything happening politically right now in the United States, the United States government just being a bunch of bullies like they've always been, but it feels like this administration is just ramping up that bully energy right now. Eh, Glow was right in in one of her previous videos. She said it is only a matter of time before the United States is the most hated country in the world. And I almost think that that's their goal. I'm wondering if that's the goal. And of course, these folks are not thinking about how it's going to affect the rest of us who are just trying to be good global citizens out here and live the life that we've always dreamed. So that part really sucks. But yeah, I think about the political situation. I think about my mom's health emergency last year and the fact that I'm not getting any younger. And so this year, my focus is on creating other streams of income besides my full-time job, becoming a better storyteller, a better communicator, because those 2 skills will those 2 skills will carry me, really. I like and then, like, learning a couple of languages. Just everything that has to do with being a good communicator, because AI can only take you so far. AI does not communicate well, and it certainly doesn't tell stories very well either. So those are the 2 things that I'm focused on, and creating continuing to lean into my own agency and create a life that I absolutely adore now and not waiting until retirement age when I think that I can finally, like, travel a little bit and do some of the things I've always wanted to do just for some horrible health emergency to completely derail all of my plans. And I'm not speaking that on myself. By the grace of God and all things good, I will continue to have great health and long life. But my mom's situation has been such an eye opener for me. Um, yeah, get out there and do the thing you want to do because there are no guarantees. There are no guarantees. You could do everything right. You do everything right, and yet and still something can happen. And so that's where I am today. That's how I'm feeling. Um, I don't know. I would encourage whoever I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but I'll just say it for shits and giggles. If you're someone out here trying to figure out if moving abroad is the thing you want to do, if becoming a content creator is something you want to do, writing that book, starting that podcast, especially if you're a woman, we need more women podcasters. Ladies, I need you women who have lived full, incredible, brilliant lives, who have done a lot of things and experienced a lot of things and learned a lot of things, especially if you're over the age of 40, please share your story. Please. We need you. We need your voices now more than ever. I am so tired of listening to men talk. I'm so tired. When I tell you, I have uh I have somehow, by the grace of God and all things good, I have curated my life so that I rarely listen to men speak. Rarely. I work on a team full of women. I don't have a man in my house eating up all my food and tearing up all my stuff and stomping around angry and frustrated and making my life a living hell. I don't have honestly at this point, if I'm not talking to the security at my building or an Uber driver or someone else that is in service to me, and that's a man, I'm not talking to men. It's wild. But I say all that to say, like, we need more women in the podcast space. We need more women sharing their stories on social media. We need more women, especially women who, like I said, have lived full lives. Get out there and share your story. Um, yeah, I think I want to say that as far as podcast goes, there's like one podcaster, one male Grits and Eggs podcast, and that's 2 dudes, 2 black men who got some sense. They're amazing. I love listening to Deontay Kyle and Big Ice Cup Cat. Love them down. It's like that's the only male podcast that I listen to. So yeah, I just want to encourage more women like myself who are just really like jumping back. I'm jumping back, but like jumping into the space and sharing their stories. Please, we need more of you. More black women speaking up. When I think about Black women specifically speaking up, I think about a thread, because I'm not on Twitter anymore, thread that I saw earlier today from a white woman who's a pastor, but she was really giving props to Jasmine Crockett. She was giving props to Jasmine Crockett, and she was saying that she responded to another white woman who said that she voted for James Talrico because she felt like James, his delivery was softer. Of course, I understand. She said his delivery was softer, understandably, and that was why she wanted to vote for this guy. And oh, this is why I want to see more of us owning our own spaces and speaking how we want to speak and speaking how we want to speak to each other as Black women. The idea that you believe a white man has a softer, kinder tone than a Black woman, and that's the reason why you voted for him. You didn't talk about his policies, his voting record, what he stands for, his morals, his values, none of that. You liked his tone. Really? And so uh, I have listened to Jasmine Crockett speak. I would love for her to have her own podcast. I would listen to her all day long. And so I really I want to see more Black women sharing their stories. Black women, women of color who do not quote unquote naturally have a softer tone. Please speak up. I want to hear you. I want to hear what you have to say. I do. I think more of us have more wisdom in our pinky finger than most of these content creators and podcasters of a different hue. Because our lives, our everyday lives make it so that we have to know more and do more. I want to see more of us in this space. Anyway, that's my soapbox, y'all. I really um, appreciate having the chance, the ability to do all of this. I am so thankful that I have options. And if you are a woman in the world that has options, please take full advantage of them. Use every tool in your arsenal to create a life that you absolutely love. I mean, every tool, even the ones that society might say you shouldn't use or would judge you for using, use them. Because in the end, you're the only one. You are the one that has to wake up every day and look at yourself in the mirror and go to bed at night. Um, think like in the dead of night, thinking about your life. That's you have to live with you. So, girl, when I say use every tool, use every tool. If it's your looks, use it. Your intelligence, use it. I've said this in a previous video, but man. And then if you are a woman over 40, over 50, please share your story. Speak up. Share your life, share your experiences. We need you. We need your voices. All right. If you don't know me, my name is Siobhan. I'm a 40-something Black American woman trolling these internet streets, talking about agency, having more agency over your life. I am in the process of creating more avenues for me to live the type of life that I absolutely love. One of those ways is through immigrating. I left the United States. I have permanent residency in Mexico. Solo travel, move abroad content. I talk about these things and also the decisions that you can make, big and small, to have more agency over your life. All right. See you later.